Hi everyone, I've been working in human resources for close to 13 years now, and I've been an HR generalist and HR business partner for the majority of my career. And in this video, I'll be helping you to understand what an HR business partner does. So I'll be covering a basic definition of a business partner, the different roles that make up an HR business partner overall, and the competencies that you need in order to be an effective HR business partner. Whilst this video will focus on HR as a career, at the end of the video, I'll include a link to another one of my videos, which is more general in nature, and it will help your career regardless of what you do. So human resources as a function has a number of important sub-functions. There's workforce planning, recruitment and selection, organizational development, learning and development, remuneration and benefits, industrial relations or employee relations, and of course, business partnering. Depending on the organization, there may be additional functions or different names, but in my experience, these are the main ones. An HR business partner is an experienced HR professional who works closely with the leaders of an organization or part of an organization to help them achieve value through their people. And in a for-profit organization, the HR business partner helps the organization to maximize employee contributions to the bottom line. In terms of how much experience you need, it really depends on the company, but I would say that 4 to 5 years of solid HR generalist experience is required. As an HR business partner, you'll generally be assigned a client group or a portfolio, and you are responsible for their HR needs. So any queries that a leader or employee has regarding HR will come to you in the first instance. Client groups vary in size and complexity. Over the course of my career, I've looked after groups ranging in size from 300 to 500 to over 1,000. However, the size of the group, it doesn't always indicate how much work will be involved. Some groups of a smaller size can be more complex and have different demands which require more attention. So an HR business partner needs to be competent in the various components of HR. HR business partners are often referred to as HR generalists because their role involves a wide range of activities. The size of the organization that you are working in will determine how much of a generalist or specialist business partner that you will be. In a smaller organization, where the HR department is also small, as a business partner, you're more likely to get involved in all aspects of the employee lifecycle. This is why a standalone HR business partner role can be more difficult at times, and it's not something that I would recommend unless you have a lot of HR experience. A larger organization with a larger HR department often has specialist teams. For example, there might be a team of remuneration specialists, or an industrial relations team, or an organizational development team. In these types of HR departments, the business partner is supported by those specialist teams. The business partner is still the main point of contact for their allocated area, but they can draw upon the knowledge of internal specialists. I may be biased because I have been a business partner for some time, but I think that in some ways the HR business partner role is one of the more difficult roles in an HR team, because when a new organizational initiative is developed, it's often implemented by the business partner. And in the past, I've worked in large global organizations in which I've had to roll out a new policy or program which hasn't been received too well by employees. And as a business partner, you have to process the feedback that you're being provided, see if you can improve the program. And if you can't, you need to deliver it as best as you can. If you are a business partner already, or you are aspiring to be a business partner, I think it's really important to think about your career using a T-shaped model. Actually, this advice isn't just helpful for just HR, it's really helpful for lots of different careers. The idea of the T-shaped model is that you have a wide range of skills or competencies along the top that you are good at, with a deep specialization in an area related to your field. As an example, I'm a generalist HR business partner with experience across different aspects of HR, but my specialization is in the facilitation of training courses and coaching of employees and leaders. Before I go into detail regarding what a business partner does, I wanted to do a quick introduction. My name is David Milan. I'm an HR professional working in Australia, and throughout my career, I've helped lots of employees with their careers, and that's what I like to do with my videos. I really think that every employee can add value to an organization and get better at their jobs. So if that's the type of thing that you're into, please subscribe so you don't miss out on any content. So back to the roles of an HR business partner. As a business partner, you often have to wear different hats depending on what's going on in your organization. Based on things that I've read, conferences that I've been to, and discussions with other HR business partners, I think that there are a few key roles that make up an HR business partner role. You need to be a strategic partner, a crisis manager, and a coach. In the role of strategic partner, you need to work closely with your allocated business leaders to understand how to support their deliverables. As a business partner, it's really important to deeply understand how the business works. Very early in my career, when I was working as an HR professional in automotive manufacturing, I was taught to walk the floor, which was pretty easy because I was working in a car factory, and so it literally meant getting out on the factory floor and walking around and understanding how the business worked and talking to employees and leaders. And that advice has stayed with me throughout my career. Wherever I can, I try to get out with the leaders that I'm supporting and understand their business, even if that is something just as simple as going to see people at their desks as opposed to a phone call or an email. Once you understand the business, it makes it a lot easier to understand the talent needs of the organization or adjust HR strategies to meet business needs. The second role of crisis manager is all too real this year given COVID-19. COVID-19 is an example of a really big crisis, but there are often micro crises that HR business partners need to deal with. These can range from a high-performing employee resigning and a manager wanting to quickly counter-offer, or it could be an incident where an employee has done something that isn't in line with the organization's policies or even in line with the law. As a business partner, you're often called in to help leaders when an employee is underperforming or has done something wrong. And throughout my career, I've been involved in a lot of disciplinary cases, and at times it can be a bit draining. However, some business partners find disciplinary cases interesting and less draining. I think it really depends on you as a person. Either way, as an HR business partner, you need to be able to quickly respond to a manager or employee's questions or needs. Returning to COVID-19 as an example of a mega crisis, HR business partners all over the world have had to help organizations manage flexible work arrangements, understand how to maintain business continuity, ensure that employee communication is provided, and in some cases, unfortunately, look at redundancies or standing employees down in accordance with legislation. I know that amongst colleagues in my network in Australia, responding to the implications of COVID-19 from an HR perspective has been some of the most difficult HR work that they've had to perform during their careers. The final role that an HR business partner needs to perform is actually my favorite role, and that is the role of coach. As an HR business partner, you will often work really closely with senior leaders, and you'll get to see things that a lot of employees don't see. And during my career, I've been part of various leadership teams as the HR business partner for my area, and attending these meetings allows me to see how the leaders interact with each other and observe the dynamic and the relationships between the leaders. Often this provides opportunities to coach either the most senior leader in the room or other leaders and provide feedback on my observations. I know that throughout my career, there have been countless times where I've played an interaction back to a leader to give them more awareness of their style, and this has led to the leader improving their ability to lead their team. I actually just completed level 1 organizational training through the Institute of Executive Coaching and Leadership, and the training course is an accredited coach training program which teaches the essential foundational skills of an executive coach. So if you are an HR professional or a manager, I highly recommend the course, and I will include a link in the description. So in terms of competencies, I think there are a few key competencies that you need in order to be successful as a business partner. I'm not going to go into personality and what aspects of personality are suitable for a business partner, because I honestly think that they can all add value. They'll just do so in different ways. If you are interested in personality profiling, I've covered that in a separate video because that's another part of what I do as a business partner. I debrief employees on their personality results. Back to competencies, there are many that you need to be good at, but I think the key ones are business acumen, problem solving, and communication. In terms of business acumen, I touched on this earlier, but it's really important to understand the business that you are supporting. You need to understand how the business works, how it makes money, whether there are any future policies or trends or technology that may impact the business and ultimately its people. And understanding these things will make you a more effective business partner. And sometimes this can be a bit difficult for an HR professional, especially if you are supporting a business that is very technical, for example, engineering or a medical field. However, I've always found that the leaders that I support are really open to teaching you about their business. So asking how things work, it goes a long way in terms of developing a relationship. The second competency that will help you as a business partner is problem solving. You'll often be presented with an issue and need to come up with a way to solve it. And as part of this, you'll need to consider the relevant employment legislation, the organizational policies, and also equity across the organization. When I first started my career, there was less emphasis on data analysis, but these days it is really important. A lot of the problems that you'll be asked to solve, you need to consider large sets of data and analyze that data in order to come up with a solution. There's lots that you can learn online, but if you are a current HR student and you don't have a data analytics subject and you have the opportunity to take an elective, I really recommend it because it would help your career later on. The final competency that you need to be good at is communication. I think this really comes up in two different ways: large group communication and also one-on-one communication. As a business partner, you'll often be asked to present a message to a large group of employees, large ranging from 20 to 50 or even higher. If you are uncomfortable talking in public, then that's something that you'll need to work on in order to be successful as a business partner. The second aspect of communication is one-on-one communication. As a business partner, there are times where you need to have a difficult conversation with a leader, often someone who is more senior than you. And you need to be able to provide feedback in a way that maintains the relationship, but at times it'll be something that the person finds hard to hear. And I've done this multiple times throughout my career, and if the conversation is handled well, it will ultimately strengthen the relationship. As a business partner, you also need to be able to influence decisions, often without formal authority, and that's another reason why you need to be a strong communicator. You need to be able to clearly articulate a message and at times inspire people to take action. In some cases, you might be challenged by employees or leaders, so you need to be okay dealing with conflict and at times confrontation. If you don't feel comfortable talking in public, I think that's okay because you can work on it, you can get better, but you need to be aware that it is a key competency you need to have as an HR business partner. So those are the key competencies that I think that you need as a business partner. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure that you give it a thumbs up. And if you've really enjoyed it, please subscribe. As I mentioned earlier, I like to make videos that help employees with their careers. So if this has been of value for you, please share it with someone who you think it will help. I've put together another video called How to Supercharge Your Career, which provides a bit of a strategy on how you can improve your career. So I'll include a link in the description and I'll also put in one of the cards at the top here. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.